Hey guys, how's it going? It's Bill Kerr here, and I'm about to just share some insights, perspective that I've learned over the years, and my journey and entrepreneurism, and being coached and mentored by some pretty phenomenal people. So I know for me right now, I just want to, just share from my heart some perspectives, some things. It's not going to be very long. I'm sure this is going to be an ongoing process, but this morning I want to talk just briefly about mindset. And it seems like it's the buzzword of this year. I think last year's buzzword was process, and this year it's mindset. And basically, it's a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. And today I want to just I always have a few notes because it keeps me on track and I don't get rambling. I'm going to focus today on two acronyms. I'm a big guy on acronyms because it just allows me to jot down some notes. And the first one is BCD. And I'll talk about that in a second. And then the second one is just ABC. So we're starting off pretty basics, first of the alphabet, and then I'll just share some ideas on that. But really, over the years, I've read many books, and in a lot of the books, they talk about how you want to live your life, and how you want to leave a legacy. And they talk about, a lot of times they use the example of a tombstone, where on a tombstone it's the date you're born and the date you die, and then there's a dash in between. And so what does that dash look like? And so BCD was basically made famous by a French philosopher named Jean-Paul Sartre. And what he said, that life is the C between the B and the D, which means the meaning of life is the way we live and the choices we make between birth and death. And it seems like a very simple, thing, very profound, really, in its simplicity, but there's a lot of truth in it. The choices we make, and having the understanding that we have the choice to make the choice. And I know, those choices, as far as mentorship, I try to, help people understand the choices are really in three big areas. And those three big areas are time, the choices we make with our time, how we spend it, who we spend it with, which lead us to the second area, which is people, the choices we make with people, the choices we make with our associations, the choices we make with our partners. All those things are very instrumental in how your life is lived. And then obviously in the third area, the choices we make in money. And so what I want to do, maybe in these series of videos, is just try to help you understand the perspective and the importance of having a growth mindset, especially in the choices that you make. And so, mindset by definition, it says it's the deeply held beliefs, attitudes, and assumptions we create about who we are, how the world works, what we are capable of and deserve, and what is possible. And I remember something that rocked my world many years ago, probably 30 plus years, is a statement that, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes we live in this, bubble, this reality that we self-create, and a lot of times it's based on limitations. It's based on, things that have been said to us, things that we believe, and really, you really don't know, what you're capable of. And, a statement that's used is you need to find your Roger Bannister. You need to find, someone or somebody or something that allows you to believe that the great thing can happen, and allows you to believe that you are capable of more. And that's really what happened to me, those 30 plus years ago, is when I was introduced to my first mentor, and I gained that spot and started really watching and learning and really hanging on to all that my mentor had to say. I began to realize that really he had no talents that were greater than mine. He had no attitudes that were greater than mine. His work ethic wasn't greater than mine. What was greater was the choices that he made and how he lived his life through mentorship that he had, and allowed that primary influence to happen in his life. And so it was like a wow for me, a waha moment, that, okay, if I really start focusing on my growth mindset, start believing that the great thing can happen. And then so I dived into books, and I just didn't read to check a box that, I got my 20 or 30 minutes in. I actually read to learn, because from my background of construction and farming, I had a very limited what I knew. I had to expand my vocabulary, had to expand my thinking, had to expand my mindset. And so that really was my Roger Bannister moment. And Roger Bannister, if you're not familiar, was a gentleman in 1954. He broke a barrier. And the barrier was that the mile could not be run in less than 4 minutes. Okay, actually, doctors and researchers said that your skin would fall off because it just was humanly impossible to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. And so on May 5th, the barrier was 1954, it couldn't be done. May 6th, 1954, Roger Bannister ran a mile, 3 minutes, 59 seconds. And so he basically broke that barrier. Since then, 1,400 people have broken that same barrier. And so it was a barrier that allowed people to believe that, the great thing could happen. And so the second mindset, or the second acronym, I guess I want to just end with today, is ABC. And ABC is simply your attitude determines your behavior. And so as simple as that is that the attitudes we have, the thinking that we have, determines certain behaviors. And we all know that our behaviors, right, have consequences. And so, that's really what the determining factor is when we talk about a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, many people are focused on excuses. They want to make an excuse about everything. I don't have any time. I don't have any money. I don't have any ability, whatever the excuse is. And I can list hundreds. Or the growth mindset and the attitude is, hey, I'll take responsibility. If I need to change, then I'll change. I'll learn. I'll grow. I'll develop. I'll get around better people that challenge me to be a better person. A fixed mindset is somebody that says, hey, I can't do this. I quit when the going gets tough. That's what I've done. That's what I've always done. That's what I'll do again. Or you develop grit. You develop grit in your life where you have that stick-to-itiveness that, okay, my attitude is, I am not going to let this beat me. I am going to figure this out. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to let my brain, work in such a way that I can figure this out. And I'll figure it out and I'll get it done because I have grit. And so that's the attitudes that you need to develop, because those attitudes lead to the behaviors, leads to those ongoing atomic habits that generate consistencies in your life. And I know, for me right now, one of the things that I had to break is, over the years, I'm in my 60th year now, and, I just really began to focus on my fitness. Why? Because, the later in life you get, the harder it is to get fit, to shed the pounds, if you will. And so many times I try to exercise first thing in the morning. Many times, you're up later or whatever, and you could make that excuse. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. But, since the last 380 days, I have not missed a morning that I have exercised. And that habit, that attitude has given me the consequence of probably being in some of the best shape I've been in my life. Why? Because I chose to do it. Could I make excuses? Absolutely. And this isn't look at me, how great I am. It's just an example of you have what it takes to take responsibility, develop a growth mindset, hone in, focus in, don't let it beat you. Don't let the things that you want to have in your life beat you. And I just trust you have a great day. Love you guys. We're proud of you. Look forward to chatting with you again soon.